Hey guys, it's Jonathan here from GuitarTipsWeekly.com. Head on over and check it out. Today I've got a simple lesson here for you, and I just want to kind of open your mind to the idea of using the same chord in other places on your fretboard. Okay, a lot of people start using G, and then they only ever use G as, you know, just a standard open G, right? And this applies to all the chords. I'm not going to have time to go through, you know, every chord and all the different places you can find on the fretboard, but I wanted to take a look at just one chord today, the G chord, G major, and look at a few different places. You might be surprised at the number of different places that you can play a G major chord on your guitar. Okay, so we'll start with the most obvious, which is of course G major, open. Probably familiar with that, right? Now you can, you know, add the extra D, which is the fifth of G, thus belongs in the chord, right there on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. It's a very popular little addition, right? So that's that. Second most obvious is, of course, the bar chord. Okay, well, let's break down this bar chord a little bit further, because now we can also play a G, the top part of this bar chord. This is a triad, and there you find all 3 notes that we need for the G chord. Now if you want to go and look and make your own G chord somewhere on the fretboard, the only notes you need are G, B, and D. So there you find it right here in the bottom of the open G major chord, the G, B here on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, and open D, of course, right? Those 3 notes are all that you need to make a G major chord. So anywhere you go on the fretboard, and little side note, think of this when you're soloing, because if you use those notes over a G major chord, it's going to sound great, but you can mix them up and use them in different places, perhaps different octaves, even jumping around octaves, things like that. So a little side tip for you if you're a little bit more advanced. So there we've got a G major, right? There we've got a G major. Now, remember that's our octave of G. 2 frets down, 2 frets up. So now we've got another G major right here. And I've got my ring finger here on the 5th fret of the 4th string, middle finger on the 4th fret of the 3rd string, and my index finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. And again we've got G, B, D. G major. Okay, well, let's move it up at the beginning here. There's another G. Okay, we've got our D. This time it's kind of inverted because we've got D, G, B. But the 3 notes that we need for G major are still there. Okay, so all that is a D position, a D shape, chord shape, moved up to the 7th fret, or 8th fret really, because that's where our G root is. But so I'm doing the same fingerings there, and then just moved up so that my index finger and my middle finger are there on the 7th fret, and the ring finger is on the 8th fret, 2nd string. Okie dokie. Let's keep on going. What else do we have? Well, we've got a G right here, and on the 10th fret of the 5th string. So if we've got a G note there, surely we can make some chords off of that, right? Well, sure enough, we can use the A-shaped bar chord and make a G major out of that. And here again we got G, B, and D, right? This is at the 12th fret right here, and 10th fret. D's there on the 10th fret. Remember, if you're trying to figure out where your notes are, I mean, it's easy if you at least you can save yourself some work. If you should know your E string pretty well, right? Hopefully. And remember, the other E string's just the same thing, right? So if you know the 10th fret is D on the lower E, well, the higher E is also D, right? So there's G major. And then again, G. Well, yeah, you need the whole thing there really to get your chord. We could also look at it this way. So this time we're coming off the G again at the 10th fret on the 5th string, and then we get our major third here, which is the B, on the 9th fret of the 4th string, and then we add the D. That one's kind of a little bit more awkward to play, but depending on how you're using it, you can squeak that into some songs. And sounds like my guitar might be a little bit untuned. I just put new strings on it, so you have to forgive me for that. But there you have it. There's a number of different ways. How many did we do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different ways to play a G major chord, all within the first 12 frets of your guitar. And of course, if you got an electric guitar, you can, or even this guitar, I could do some of these again. Go all the way up there and play that. But there you have it. Try to think of other chords. Take another chord and see if you can do the same exercise with that chord, and figure out different ways that you can play it on the fretboard. So have fun with that. It's Jonathan here from GuitarTipsWeekly.com. Sign up the email box there, and you get a free guitar lesson every week. And we'll see you again next time.